happy Wednesday, happy middle of the week. You've made it again, halfway through another week, and hopefully through my last two videos. So I really hope you enjoyed them. Mondays was like a lot of it of chaos. It was just kind of what my body felt like doing, and I was like, you know what, if this makes me feel good, hopefully it'll make you all feel good. And then yesterday's was a little bit more structure, a little bit more fun. I love a back extension. Hopefully your spine felt kind of lovely and regenerated, and just like a nice rush of new energy there from holding those active kind of extended positions, whereas we tend to all kind of slouch and sit like this, especially if you're working from home. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the last two. Today's really good fun. Today we're going to play about, for the first time I think in these videos, with binding a couple of poses. So what I mean by binding is we're going to have two options in two different poses today, where we take the hands behind the back and we clasp fingertips together like so. It is a complete option and it's quite an advanced option. So if you're feeling supple and stretchy and you know you're kind of at one with your flexibility already, give these a try today as a really nice challenge. If you get close, if you can kind of touch your fingertips, if you're a couple of inches away, then that's epic and that's something really cool to work on. And if you're not there and you don't even want to attempt it because you've only kind of just picked up yoga and you're working through these videos as your first interaction with yoga as a movement and as a practice, then that's totally okay. Stay with the lower options that I will give, and you're still going to get a brilliant stretch and a really nice workout. And we're going to actually start seated today. So join me, take a little seat on the floor. Just bring your legs to whatever feels comfortable for you. We're just going to take a few stretches here in the upper body, so you can have legs out. Oh, you can cross your legs if it feels right for you. Like me, if you're quite happy to sit in a kind of modified half lotus and tuck one knee in, whatever feels right for you to sit, where you can get nice and high up on your sit bones. So I want you to just take a moment now to bring the fingertips by your side, to pick up your hips, and just place them so you can feel the bony part of the pelvis grounding into the floor. Take the hands onto the thighs, take a big breath in, and as you inhale, pull the shoulders up to the ears, roll them back, and then exhale, let them sink, but keep lifting and elevating your chest, your breastbone. Take a few breaths there, just think, inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, let the shoulder blades naturally draw back and down. Find that elevated, lifted seating position and ground some energy through hands to thighs and into the floor. Take a little roll through your neck, drop the head all the way over to the right side and slowly roll the chin down onto your chest, all the way through to the left, and then lift it back up to center. Just go again in the opposite direction, so ear to left collarbone. Chin roll slowly with an exhale breath all the way through the center to the right side. And inhale back into the center. Taking your right hand, you're going to be able to pop it across your left knee. So use the back of the palm as a little block here. And then take your left hand behind you and use it to sit up tall on your inhale breath. And exhale, use that hand just to push into the thigh and rotate through the body. Take just one more breath there. Inhale, sit tall. Exhale, twist and turn. Take the eye gaze to the back shoulder. Inhale, come back through center. Change sides. So left hand to outer part of right knee. Right hand behind you. Inhale, sit tall. Exhale, push that palm into the knee and rotate. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, take the head and neck with it. Take a little look behind you. Inhale, come back through center. Keeping grounded through those sit bones. Take a breath in and rise up to stick pose. Inhale your energy high to the ceiling. Reach your fingertips up. And exhale, fall over to the right side. Find the hand or the forearm onto the floor. And push top arm over and across your head. Exhale, take a big sweep through the center, take your body low and roll it all the way to the other side, on hand or forearm here, wherever feels right for you, as low as you can get. And take a big breath up, come back in. Inhale, tall through stick pose, reach to the ceiling, create length. Exhale, fall over to the left side. Hand just wider than your hip. Top arm reaches over. If you get low enough and you want to rest forearm onto the floor, then do so. Exhale, take this top shoulder forward and sweep your body round to the other side. Inhale, lift top elbow. Exhale, find both hands down by your right side, about hip width apart, and then just untuck your feet from wherever you are and come on into a high plank position for me. Keeping the hips in line with the shoulders, drawing the shoulder blades down and sending your body weight forward, so shoulders are just forward of wrists. Exhale the knees and the feet to the floor and your body down through your modified chaturanga today. Inhale, pull the shoulder blades back, slide the lats down towards the glutes, squeeze the butt as you come into baby cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes and roll on through to your first down dog of the day. Take a little walk in your down dog. If you need to set your feet, set your hands, get nice and comfy, hands about shoulder width, feet wherever feels right for you. Tipping the pelvis up to the ceiling so we create that straight spine. We're not hunching the shoulder blades. You can keep as much knee bend as you need to, and that feels right for your hamstrings. Inhale, we're going to bend the knees and crouch. Exhale, we're going to spring the right leg forward and just come into a wide lunge. So right foot to outside of right hand. Back knee down on the floor, option one if it's a little comfier, or lifted today because we're not here for long. And just take a little rotate to open up the hips. Inhale, right onto the ceiling, lift the chest. Turn your body towards your front knee. Exhale, lower. Inhale, flatten the hands, drive back into high plank. And exhale, take a vinyasa. On the knees, or this time stronger on the toes, all the way to the floor, flatten the feet. Inhale, roll the shoulders back to baby cobra and push up. Working through the levels always as we get the body warm. Exhale over the knees and the toes, find your down dog. We go again. Inhale, bend the knees, crouch. Exhale, spring the right foot forward. This time, I want you to land your back heel down onto the floor on an angle and set up your warrior two. So you might need to just bring this right foot in to the center line of your mat, so that if you drew a straight line out of your front heel, it would land on the arch of your left foot. So we got a nice narrow foot position, but wide through the legs. You're going to bend that right knee low, and then inhale up into your warrior two. You're going to hold there for me for just 2 nice breaths. We're thinking body weight pulls back over the hips, front knee bends intensely, push the back leg straight by pushing the outer part of the foot into the floor. Inhale the chest up, exhale the shoulders down. Inhale, come to extended warrior. Right elbow or forearm onto the thigh, left arm reaches up and over your head. Keep bending that front knee. Now your option is to stay here. You're going to be here for about 10 breaths. Long, long hold, finding intensity in both your legs, like you're trying to push your legs apart, find that depth. A little further, level 2, is to take the hand to the inner part of calf, shin, ankle, or foot. Top arm keeps extending over the head. Exhale, take this top arm and draw it into your lower back. So option is to just go back of the hand into the back of the spine. Keep on bending that front knee. If you want to take your bind now, you're going to take this hand further around towards the thigh. You're going to take this front arm under the inside of the leg, and if you make it, clasp the hands behind you. Give me 3 breaths here. Inhale, hold, try and lift your chest. Exhale, bend front knee more. Inhale, try and lift the chest up. Exhale, sink. Inhale, hold. Exhale, wherever you are, release. Straighten the front leg and come into triangle. So a little less. We're going to keep this top hand tucked into the lower back. You might want to be here just on the top of the thigh with 2 legs straight. A little lower, hand on shin. A little lower, hand on ankle or hand on floor. Think about pulling your chest open, lifting that top shoulder up to the sky and straightening that front knee as much as feels right for you. Feel the hamstring stretch. That really hurt my legs today. I don't know if you can see or tell. The idea is we're trying to clasp the hands behind the back in these binds, but fully just as a challenge. If you held that extended warrior for the time for 10 breaths, then well done you. From your triangle, you're just going to bend your front knee once more, windmill both the hands so that they frame the foot, and lift your back knee so the hips fall back into your lunge. Take the front leg to meet the back, high plank. Option now, full vinyasa if you want to. Exhale, chaturanga halfway to the floor and hold. Flatten the feet and drive your chest up, staying active with the knees and hips off the floor. Exhale, roll back in to down dog. This time, we're going to lunge through into our swan pose. So think inhale, bend the knees, crouch. Exhale, spring the right knee through and land outer part of the calf to the floor. Back knee down to the floor. Find your swan pose. If swan pose is too much or feels like a lot for you, the option is to just ground the hips, come into this 90-90 pose. Both knees at 90 degrees, right leg in front, left leg to the side, hips and shoulders turn this way. If you're lifted into your pigeon pose with me, I want you to find the intensity in your hip stretch by bringing the foot a little further forward. So foot tucked right back in, you're going to feel less stretch here, a little comfier. If you can take that foot a little further forward, then you're going to get more stretch in the hip here. And just take 3 deep breaths to find the hands about either side of the hips. Lift your chest up high. Extend your pigeon pose. Inhale, hold. Exhale, actively relax and disperse the tension from your hips. Inhale, breastbone to ceiling. Exhale, remove that tension, that resistance from your legs. Inhale, hold. Exhale, keep sinking. Can you take your right hand, place it in front of you for your balance here today, and take your left arm back behind you. So even if you're down here in this 90-90 position, we just take the left foot into the left hand, draw it into the hip, and turn your shoulders to face the front. Keep enjoying that stretch in hip and quad. If you're lifted, as we take inner part of the foot, same again, turn your shoulders forward and hold there. Keep drawing the heel in towards the butt. 5 deep breaths. If you're coming with me, the bind is here. Inner part of the foot, we try and slide into the crease of your elbow. Good. Challenge. Whether you're holding with hand or with elbow, turn your chest forward and see if you can take the balance. So see if you can lift your top arm to the ceiling. Take out that support on the floor, grow a little more active through your glutes and your hamstrings as we stretch the quad and the hip flexor. And if you can bind, the top arm comes just behind the head, fingertips interlace, turn the chest forward still. Feel that lovely, deep, intense stretch in the quad. Give me a deep breath in. I'm still with you. Take an exhale breath and release. Relax out of this one slowly. Think about dropping that back leg to the floor, tuck the toes under for a little activity. Drop the hands to the floor so they're about hip width. And then as you pick the hips and the back knee up, slide the front leg through. Take a vinyasa, whatever level feels right for you. Knees, toes, passive to the floor or active and lifted. And exhale your way back. Breathe in, bend the knees and crouch. Exhale, spring right leg forward, land it just outside the hand, and then walk your hands into the center of your mat and turn your feet to face forward. Wide leg, forward fold, we stretch. Hands flat to the floor, chest lowers down,
last two poses and enjoy this moment here. If you can take your feet a tiny bit wider, you can do so now. You might want to turn your heels out wider than your toes. And just keep drawing a little lower to the floor. Maybe your forearms find the floor. Maybe your forehead finds the floor. It's just whatever feels right for you. Straightening up the hamstrings and the knees as much as feels right for you. Big sighing exhale breath. Big energy bringing inhale breath. Push into the hands, lift chin and chest. Little flat back extension. Exhale, bend both knees and walk your way over to the back of your mat. I want you to land here into a lunge with the left leg forward and then push it straight back into a high plank. Vinyasa, knees or toes, wherever you are, elbows stay super tight into the waist and roll it back, wave it back into your down dog. Take a little breath here, take a little moment. Reset the shoulders, drive the hips up high. Inhale, bend the knees, crouch. Exhale, spring your left leg. Sorry if that caught anybody off guard and you're cursing me at home. Spring your left leg forward. Land it at the outer part of the left hand. Option, if you need to, come down. I've got myself in the right tears today, haven't I? I'm still with you guys, don't worry. So if you need to, lower down here. If you can, stay lifted in that back leg. Right hand flat to the floor. Left hand inhales up. Rotate towards that front knee. Think about turning your body, pulling that top shoulder up to the ceiling. Exhale, lower. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, vinyasa. Remember at any time, if you want to take these vinyasas in our lower level, you're absolutely still getting that movement and that warmth creating in your spine. It's not about how hard you work. It's about how much you give of yourself to the practice. So how fully committed are you? You might be giving more at a lower level and somebody else is giving at a higher level, and that's absolutely okay. Inhale, bend the knees, crouch. Exhale, spring that left leg forward. Land it. Land the back heel on an angle and set your feet so they're in one straight line down the centre of your mat. Take left hand onto left thigh, bend that knee nice and low so the hips are down. We've got about a 90 degree at that knee, and then windmill off of it. Arms go out along to your side, chest pulls back over the hips and pelvis. Inhale, we roll in, set the shoulders. And just like that, we're in our warrior two. 2 breaths here. Inhale, squeeze your butt to push your pelvis forward. Exhale, create tension in your feet by pushing them away. Inhale, reach your arms long. Exhale, pull your front knee back. Perfect warrior two created. We're going to extend this by bringing left forearm and elbow to thigh, bringing top arm overhead. Bending into the knees and the hips. Staying here for 10 deep breaths if you need to. Going a little bit lower, taking a hold of maybe calf, maybe ankle, maybe foot. Keeping that top arm going overhead. Or bringing the top hand into the lower back. Now bend that front knee, stay low. Option, if you can get this hand into, right onto that back thigh, then you've got a chance of taking your bottom arm underneath you, around the front of the thigh, and if you can clasp fingers behind your back, your job is to then lift and pull your chest up. Give me 3 deep breaths. Inhale, hold. Exhale, sink the hips. Inhale, squeeze the butt. Exhale, pull the top shoulder up. Hold for me. And release for me. So pyramid stretch. We're going to keep the right hand in the lower back. We're going to come up to a point where we can straighten front knee. And by bringing either your hand onto your thigh, your hand onto your shin, your hand onto your ankle, foot or floor, pull the top shoulder up by pressing the hand into the back. and rotate yourself. So you are facing, your body and your rib cage is facing forward, and we're just thinking about straightening up that front leg. So we're thinking draw energy up the kneecap, tension in the quad, lovely release in the hamstring. So I'm filming this video a little later on in the day than I usually do. And I just did a pretty brutal leg workout, so the reason I'm sort of shaking and falling in and out of my poses is therefore explained. Bear with me, guys. Exhale. Bend that front knee one more time. Frame the foot with the hands. Lift off your back heel. And then as you drop into your lunge, send it straight back into a vinyasa. Last 2 of these today, whatever level feels right for you. Fluid movement with the breath, rolling and resetting through the spine. Inhale, bend the knees, crouch. Exhale, spring the left leg and land onto outer part of calf and ankle and knee. Drop on into either your 90-90, hips are grounded on the floor, knees are bent. Difference in pigeon is we lift the pelvis up, we roll a little bit more forward facing with your mat, and your back leg is lovely and long, foot flat to the floor, relaxed there. We're coming up to a little extended pigeon, extended swan first. So if your hands are quite far forward, it's probably because your hips are feeling a little tight. If they are feeling super, super tight in this pose, then bring your foot and your heel back closer in towards your hips. Here is going to feel a little bit more relaxed. Here, with the foot forward and the shin more parallel to your mat, it's going to feel a little bit more stretched. And then just walk your hands back so you can align them about either side of your hips. Roll the shoulders back, lift the chest. 3 energizing breaths here. Inhale, lift the breastbone. Exhale, disperse all that energy in your hips, let them sink with gravity towards your mat. Inhale, hold. Exhale, sink the hips. Inhale, hold. Exhale, feel release. Inhale, slide your left hand directly in front of your left shin at your center line. Take your right arm back. So whether you're down in 90-90 or up with me in pigeon, we just want to take a hold of the back foot. Inner part of the back foot with the hand, and then draw your shoulders so we're square on with the mat. You want to be here open, we want to be here, drawing that back foot in towards the hip, feeling more stretch up in the hip flexor, down the quad. Hold. If you can, now is the time to slide that back foot into the elbow. Challenge. Even if you can just get there and keep turning the shoulders, you're in for the stretch. Now, whether you've got your hand or your elbow, or whether you're down in 90-90, my challenge for you is to inhale your front arm up. Lifted and extended. Reach for the sky. Exhale if you want to go there. Take that hand back, take the bind. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, turn the hips. Hold. Find release in the stretch. Don't force it. Don't tighten up. Breathe and soften. And exhale out of there. One more time. Hands in front of you. As you tuck your back toes and start to lift your knee and your hip off the floor, actively up into your high plank or knees or your toes. Take one more round of breath for me. One more round of vinyasa. Make it the best one yet, don't waste it. Exhale back into down dog. Inhale, draw the knees wide to the floor, big toes together. Push the hips back into child's pose. So we're sitting back into that knee and that hip position. Exhaling the forehead to the floor if you make it. Taking a big breath in to draw some energy back into your body. And then going, everything relaxes. Super work online yoga gang. Breathe in, take a little seat wherever feels right for you, or just hang out in child's pose for a little bit longer. You've definitely earned it. You might just want to wiggle and kind of wriggle out any aches and pains that you might be feeling from the day, anything that felt particularly tight in that practice. If it's hips, if you're like me and your legs are just shaking like a milkshake, then release that off. Give yourselves a little bit of time in child's pose. Maybe drop into one of my stretchier flows if you've got the time, and you want a little bit more of this, all this good stuff, then do this so. But otherwise, it's been lovely to have you all again. Hope you enjoyed that one. I love binded poses. I just think they're a wonderful place to kind of work to. I probably didn't get them for the first couple of years that I was practicing yoga, so if you feel like you're miles off, please don't be disheartened by that. This is challenging stuff, and what you're doing is incredibly wonderful for your body, and it's going to really, really appreciate it. And if you stick with it, these funky, challenging poses are not far away, I promise. So yeah, feel energized by this one, and have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your week. I'll see you tomorrow on the mat. Love you all. Take care.